How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Monsters. This is Season 3, Episode 19, and this one's entitled A Face for Radio. It originally aired February 3rd, 1991, was directed by Bruce Feirstein, and stars Morton Downey Jr., Laura Branigan, Laurie Krebs, Philip Stewart, and a special guest appearance by Julie Wilson. And overall, this is a pretty fun episode that in general works. This episode takes place in a radio booth, and they're recording a late night conspiracy show that takes place at like 3 in the morning. The set's all dark, and I think the guy that hosts the show, Morton Downey Jr., was actually a real-life TV host, so he plays the part pretty well, and there are some really interesting things to talk about and do, and plus, when you actually see the monster in this episode, it's a pretty fun little puppet. So overall, it's one that has a good atmosphere and in general works, but the thing with this episode is it really is a jerk gets his comeuppance story, and he is going to be a big, over-the-top jerk, and there are going to be so many warnings for this guy that he absolutely just ignores. And yeah, okay, this is kind of tropey and kind of telegraphed, but as I said, having a good enough atmosphere really does keep me hooked. And yeah, it is tropey, but you know what? When we go this far, this extreme, it kind of loops back around into being kind of humorous, I guess. Yeah, not perfect and definitely has some flaws, and dude, really, heed at least one of the signs, but whatever. Late night radio, it works out pretty well. So yeah, the tropiness does bug me a little, but overall, I did enjoy it, so I can definitely recommend this one. But all that being said, what's the episode about? I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and break down and analyze a few things. I'll be avoiding the end bit, so I'll try not to do any major spoilers, but from here on out, let's do a deeper dive. We open up in the late night radio show studio, and we get this guy who's interviewing a psychic, and apparently it's 3 in the morning, and for quite some time they've talked about conspiracy theorist stuff, psychics and aliens and stuff like that. Like I said earlier, a naturally intriguing thing, and it really does hook you into this episode. Well, this psychic has just written a book. The host of the show thinks he's just trying to promote it and make money, and decides to ridicule her like there's a typo in the book, and he's just like, sure, you're totally not here to sell your book. And she says, I'm not here to sell my book, I'm actually here to save you, because I had a vision of you trapped in a tiny steel enclosed space, and you were suffering, and you have to heed my warning now, because if you don't change, this will be your future. So right off the bat, a very straightforward warning, and it really does kind of say where the episode's going. As I said, this guy has been given a million chances, and do you think he's gonna listen to any of them? Well, he gets the psychic off the show, and he brings in the next guest, a woman who has an alien encounter story and is carrying a mysterious little box. And yeah, with the little box, I think some of you are already putting a few things together. But anyway, the woman's very attractive, and he starts openly flirting with her. Now, the thing is though, there's a woman who's running the show, the producer who's in the studio, and he's dating her, and he's going to be openly flirting with the guest, and this is going to obviously tick her off quite a bit, even though he says, look, the show's the show, it's not real, I totally for real just love you. Yeah, adding another point to his scumbag counter. Well, the guest starts to talk about her alien encounter. She says she was sunbathing on a nude beach when she was abducted and probed, and after the probing, the aliens started to talk to her, and the aliens said they were from a planet that eliminated all evil. Eliminated all evil? So did you ask permission before you probed this lady? Yeah, I don't think you eliminated all evil, but moving on, the lady says that what's in the box is something that the aliens gave her, and it's a tool that will help eliminate evil on this Earth as well. And I won't say exactly what it is, but needless to say, we are watching Monsters, and there's a pretty fun little puppet in there. And the thing is, the puppet can speak, and the puppet's going to basically tell this guy not all of what's going on, but it's not a cryptic warning. You know how sometimes there are these anthology shows and they give way too cryptic of warnings and you're like, yeah, he's never gonna figure that out? This puppet's gonna spell out a lot, and it's a whole nother point of, dude, you really should have listened. But needless to say, he's still going to press on. He's going to continue flirting with this girl, and he is going to vastly underreact to the thing in the cage. He says, well, I mean, in real life it's a puppet, but in the continuity of the story, he does think it's a puppet, maybe some sort of ventriloquist act or something, and he is barely fazed by any of this. But needless to say, we have a very evil character not paying any attention to a thing that's supposed to eliminate evil. Yeah, I can smell comeuppance coming from a mile away. So yeah, this episode is pretty shockingly predictable, like spelling everything out, and this dude is absolutely not listening. But if you like that whole jerk gets his comeuppance trope, this episode was basically tailor-made for you. Yeah, I do find it a little bit on the nose, but everything else though, the late night 3 in the morning conspiracy show and this really cool set and the way the actors will get into it, yeah, it's a fun enough episode. It works, even though, again, very, very telegraphed, very tropey, but you know what? We got a fun puppet out of it. I can't be too mad at this one. So yeah, if it sounds up your alley, definitely check it out. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Monsters playlist. If you guys want to see me talk about the past episodes of the show, you should be able to find them there. And yeah, this is episode 19. We are almost done with the whole thing. Just a very few left. That's crazy. Hope to get to the rest pretty soon. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.